Sitting in for Kurt Loder, I'm John Norris, and this is the News at Night. The biggest story in the world, and indeed one of the biggest stories of this century, continues to be the opening up of the Berlin Wall for unrestricted travel between the East and West. This huge step in East Germany's move toward democracy must be particularly significant for East German youth who've never known life without the wall and have always had to contemplate such Western phenomena as fast food and rock and roll from the other side of Checkpoint Charlie. Our folks at MTV Europe spoke to young people from East Germany after crossing the wall and got their impressions of this truly historic event.
We are so happy and wonderful. Yeah, no, but it's good for all people here and in East and in West because we are one people. We can go and see the relatives and just go over. It's very easy and very good. Everything is very new, especially all the advertising and the lights and the neon.
Genauso happy sein wie wir. It's like a big folk festival at the moment, and nobody knows what's going to happen.
Well, what with the Berlin Wall coming down, it seems an especially appropriate time to reprise some footage shot 16 months ago, when Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band gave East Berliners an early taste of the West when he performed on their side of the wall. As only the second American rock act to have ever played there, Bruce led the band in a cover of Bob Dylan's Chimes of Freedom after addressing the crowd in what now seem very prophetic words in German.
Ich möchte euch sagen, ich bin nicht der Wir oder gegen irgendeine Regierung. Ich bin gekommen, Rock'n'Roll zu spielen für euch aus Berlin. In der Hoffnung, dass eines Tages alle Barrieren abgerissen werden. Ich danke euch. We'll find the queen from downstairs. In midnight broken toe, we ducked inside the doorway thunder crashing. As majestic bells above struck shadows in the sound, seeming to be the chimes of freedom flashing.
Bruce Springsteen performing with the E Street Band, something you apparently won't be seeing again for a while, if ever. Reports in this week's issues of Newsweek and People magazines both say that Springsteen recently had long individual chats with each member of his backing band for the past 20 years and told them to feel free to accept outside work until further notice, because he would not be using them on his next album nor on his next tour. Springsteen's management confirms these reports, but as for People and Newsweek's claims that Bruce has broken up the E Street Band, they would only say, quote, "The future remains to be seen." Springsteen's office adds that Bruce has not yet lined up any other musicians to record or tour with, nor does he have a recording date set. Well, if it really is over between Bruce and the E Streeters, it would mean the end of one of rock's most popular and acclaimed collaborations, one that's brought us such memorable performances as Spirit in the Night, Rosalita, and this one. Shot live on the Born in the USA tour, this is Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band at full throttle with Born to Run. Who knows if we'll ever see that again. And in further Bruce Springsteen news, just about everything you could possibly want or need to know about Bruce, and a whole lot more in the way of Springsteen trivia, will be on sale in bookstores later this week in a lavish new tome called Backstreets. The book is by Charles R. Crofts and the editors of Backstreets, the authorized Springsteen fanzine. Along with numerous interviews with Bruce and E Street Band members, the book has extensive info on all of Bruce's recording sessions and set lists for every show Bruce ever played. But you'll also find the scores of softball games Bruce has played in and the prices for which he sold his vintage cars. The photos range from the very attractive to those which could be considered embarrassing, like this shot of Bruce playing on the Jersey Shore in 1969. And then there's this ultra-rare shot of Steven Van Zandt, minus hat or bandana, taken backstage in 1975. That shot alone should make the Backstreets book worth its list price of $24.95. All right, we're going to take a break for a minute to plug a few more things, but still to come, we've got ex-Clash man Joe Strummer back on the road, news on the Pet Shop Boys and Liza Minnelli, who are taking their Curious Union live, and a world premiere video from Rod Stewart.
someone he can trust like a father.
Oh, really?
Someone he can respect like a mother. Someone he can treat like a lady.
What kind of work do you do?
Whatever's required.
And someplace that feels like home.
Hey, Ray, these things don't have much air in them. Take very short breaths.
Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Harlem Nights, rated R. Starts Friday, November 17th at theaters everywhere.
Well, here I am.
You're out there, and you're a new face.
They're staring, definitely staring.
You want them to see you, not a pimple. One look, and it's clear with Clearasil DoubleClear, the first completely different pad with different textured sides. The rough side deep cleans. The smooth side clears up pimples with double the medicine of the leading pad.
You know, when your skin's clear, life's a lot easier.
For skin that makes a clear first impression, Clearasil DoubleClear pads.
This Christmas, Pepsi would like to help you celebrate the holidays with a chance of winning a present from Mario in the Pepsi Nintendo Holiday Game, where you could win one of thousands of terrific Nintendo prizes, like these action sets, game packs, and best of all, the sensational new Game Boy. So hurry up and play before it's all over. Look for details on how to win your Nintendo prize wherever you see these Pepsi holiday displays.
It goes with the guys that hang in the sky. It goes with the lows. It goes with the highs. It goes with the girls who live in the sun. It's part of the job and part of the fun. It's a piece of America. Share a little piece of America. We clean a piece of America. Share a little piece of America.
If you feel life's more interesting when you make a splash.
It's the right beer now.
If you feel a great beer starts with great water.
It's the right beer now.
Because you're the kind of person who likes to get to the bottom of things. Call for the silver bullet, the one that won't slow you down.
Coors Light. It's the right beer now.
Hi.
Hi.
Doug.
Is she there?
Yeah, she's sitting right here. You want to...
Forget it. I'm not talking to him.
Oh. Well,
You tell him I can't stand him anymore.
she says to tell you
You
that...
tell him he's a complete lowlife.
She wants me to tell you that...
Tell him I wouldn't speak to him again if my life depended on it.
Doug, she...
Give me that.
Hi.
Hi.
Swatch gives you more than the time of day.
And welcome back to the news at night. The Pet Shop Boys and Liza Minnelli sounded like a strange pairing when we first heard about the British synth duo producing and writing songs for Liza's first foray into pop music, her new album Results. Well, now we'll get the chance to see how that pairing works live when the Pet Shop Boys turn in a rare U.S. performance later this month, backing up Liza in Los Angeles for a performance of Losing My Mind, the first single from Minnelli's LP. The occasion? Well, a TV special on which Liza and 4 other artists will be designated Grammy Living Legends, a new annual tribute from the Grammy people, the National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences. The ceremony will be taped on Tuesday, November 21st, and it'll air 3 nights later, Friday the 24th, on CBS TV. The other artists being honored as living legends are Willie Nelson, composer Andrew Lloyd Webber, and soul great Smokey Robinson will be introduced with a medley of his songs performed by New Kids on the Block. What would have been a high point of that special fell through, though, when Rod Stewart, who had originally been designated as a living legend and was to have one of his songs performed on the show by none other than Axl Rose, informed organizers that he could not attend the event. Rod was in turn informed, no show, no award, although a Recording Academy spokeswoman told us that there is a chance that he will be named a living legend in the future. No matter, Rod already qualifies as a legend to a lot of people, and brisk sales are expected of his just-released 4-record, 65-song anthology, Storyteller, which traces Rod's career from 1964 to the present. 3 new songs are included in the box set, including this one, the world premiere of the latest video from Rod Stewart. This is Downtown Train. And the world premiere of his cover of the Tom Waits song Downtown Train, with a video shot in the subways of New York City and in New Jersey train stations. Well, a very different sort of artist, definitely, is Joe Strummer. As frontman of political rockers The Clash, Strummer was one of the most potent voices of the punk era. Now, after a 5-year hiatus from music, he's back. with his first solo LP, Earthquake Weather, and a new U.S. tour. Here's more. Joe Strummer has mixed feelings about his current 11-city U.S. tour. He told us how he feels has a lot to do with where he's playing.
It's great nights like playing New York. It's great to be alive, but for every great night in New York, there's a night in Trenton, New Jersey, or Poughkeepsie, or Oswego, you know, somewhere where you really have to be good in a hostile environment. And that's hard work. We got an LP that's called Earthquake Weather, and so cold because of the quakes that hit the studio when we were putting it down.
The first single and video from Strummer's new album, Earthquake Weather, is Gangsterville, a song that gives the die-hard punk disciple another chance to rail against the evils of pop music.
I'm a very pig-headed guy, you know, and it was, to me, it was a kind of secret, dumb protest against the popness of the airwaves in England, you know. So I thought I'd just put out one that, to me, has something, a content, you know, in the lyric, as a kind of calling card to say, hey, I'm back, you know.
And what about the Clash's classic 1980 album, London Calling, recently named Album of the Decade by Rolling Stone magazine? What Strummer recalls most fondly about the record is its cover.
I really like that photo on the front of London Calling taken here at the Palladium where Paul smashes his favorite Fender jazz bass. I think that the sound of that bass hitting the stage is probably the best sound we ever made.
And Strummer hasn't abandoned his sideline career in acting either. His latest role being that of an Englishman living in Memphis in the acclaimed Jim Jarmusch film Mystery Train.
He's terrific. Terrific actor. He shouldn't stop. Definitely should not stop. He's great.
Us musicians, we shouldn't do any acting, right? We've written too many films, right? Eddie Murphy's in the studio. Don Johnson think like, oh hell, if they want to cut in on our action, you know, all's fair in love and war. I'm just born with a talent to be at odds with everything, you know. I can, without making any effort, I can make a simple thing difficult, you know. And it's something I learned in the Clash, that it's best to go up the hill backwards, you know, to make it more interesting. I don't know why.
Well, Joe Strummer's next date is Friday night in San Francisco. And continuing in a punk revival vein, up next, the Buzzcocks are back, and we'll tell you about the latest in trading cards, Friendly Dictators. Don't go away.
Taste this. Feel this. Now hear this. World premiere videos. New album releases. Now hear this. Monday night, 7:30, 6:30 Central.
Shine free and two of a kind.
Not just one. Ooh, I got to have the other. Oh, these two were made for each other.
Chip-resistant Color Tough for nails and Featherlight Color Soft for lips. They come in your size and colors, and they match.
Yeah, these two were made for each other.
I don't think there's another place in the country that's like this. Pretty great. It's got everything I want.
Come to me, my sweet and pretty. With the master of the Emerald City. Touch the music, feel the power. Behold, that wizard of ours, so great and thunderous. A great ha ha.
songs you'll ever need. Bring home the warmth of Christmas with Capitol Records' The Christmas Songs, the perfect collection of 40 Yuletide favorites.
Hear what I hear, oh little town.
This exclusive Christmas offer is not available in any store, so call for yours now. The Christmas Songs, the ultimate holiday treasury, digitally mastered on 3 LPs or 3 cassettes, $19.95. 3 compact discs, $29.95. Free to the first 10,000 customers, this 20-piece hand-painted ornament set, our Christmas gift to you. Write or call now.
We are back with the news at night. One of the best loved of the original English punk bands, the Buzzcocks, have gotten back together for an American tour. This is exciting news for a lot of people, including our own Tim Summer, who checked out the band recently when they came to New York. And he's here to tell us all about it. Tim?
Thank you, John. You know, this year's big reunions and stadium tours, they didn't do too much for me. But I got real excited when just a few weeks ago, very much out of the blue, the Buzzcocks decided to reform and tour. Last week, the band kicked off their reunion tour on the east coast of the U.S. and got ready to reclaim their long vacant throne as the Mancunian kings of punk pop.
People thought it would be a great idea if we got back together. So like, who are we to stand in the way?
I only want to send you things to the end. What do I get? What do I get? Oh, what do I get? What do I get? Oh, what do I get?
It's been a good idea to get back, you know.
Like by public demand.
Yeah.
I only want to send you love to the end. What do I get?
Everybody has a bit of trepidation, whether or not it'd be working, whether or not we get on with each other. But I mean, we've just had the time of our lives, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's been working like a dream now.
And it's a dream many fans have had since the band split in 1982. A reunion of the original Buzzcocks, 4 young men from Manchester, England, who virtually created punk pop. The decision to reform came very quickly, and just 4 rehearsals later, they hit the road with the idea that they would get to know each other again and then very possibly stay together.
We haven't seen each other for quite a number of years, you know, so we didn't know what to expect. So you can't start saying, well, you know, here's the next 10 years until we actually see if it works. And the best way to do it is get the ball rolling, go out there and play, you know, generate some excitement between ourselves and with the audience. Yeah.
Unlike their punk cohorts, the Damned, or elder statesmen like the Who or the Rolling Stones, this reunion seems to be inspired by love, not money.
We play a gig a night for the next 11 years, then we got a chance to be millionaires. So I mean, as you can see, we're on 20-day tour with nothing.
I can't just do it for the money. I mean, if it was for the money, we would have stayed together in the first place, I think. You know.
I mean, in this group for the money, then we would have disbanded a long time ago and become lawyers.
And thank God they didn't become lawyers, because if they did, they never would have written Never Fallen in Love, a song that the Fine Young Cannibals scored big with.
People were going, how dare they, you know, like, you know, they defile, as they reckon, you know, such wonderful songs. But I mean, like, they got it higher in the charts than we did, so they're more successful than we.
Buzzcocks has its own timeless world, you know, that's what's been good about it. And that world is kind of on our terms, rather than on, like, the outside pressures of the music, you know, the wonderful world of Buzzcocks, folks.
What a great band. Anyway, the Buzzcocks may not have a new record in the stores, but they have just released a box set compilation called Product, which features virtually everything they ever recorded, 59 tracks in all. The Buzzcocks are on the road in the U.S. until the end of this month. Tonight they're at the 9:30 Club in Washington, D.C., and Thursday night they'll be at the Fantasy Theater in Cleveland. John?
Thanks, Tim. Well, in much scarier news, retired Air Force General Richard Secord, who was Colonel Oliver North's arms-running middleman in the Iran-Contra affair, could soon be a TV star. Last Wednesday in Washington, Secord pleaded guilty to lying to Congress during its investigation of the scandal. And to enter his plea, he flew to Washington from Nashville, where he's been taping the pilot for a syndicated TV show called Findings and Facts. Secord hopes to finance his defense with sales of the show, in which he analyzes U.S. foreign policy, with such guests as a former hostage and an ex-CIA agent. Theme music for Findings and Facts will be written and performed by, of all people, 60s folk singer and activist Buffy St. Marie, who just happens to be married to the Secord show's executive producer. Well, last year, Secord was featured in a series of baseball-style cards called the Iran-Contra Scandal Trading Cards. Now, the company that produced them, Eclipse Comics, has released a new box of sarcastically subversive cards called Friendly Dictators, America's most embarrassing allies. There are 3 dozen cards portraying and describing the ignominious careers of an international cast of corrupt puppets, tyrants, and despots, who, according to one card, have all, quote, been handsomely rewarded for their loyalty to U.S. interests. Among the friendly dictators are the late Ferdinand Marcos, shown thumbing a ride to his Hawaiian retirement home with wife Imelda, and Panamanian strongman Manuel Noriega, shown with President Bush in his pocket. The cards were written by political reporters Dennis Bernstein and Laura Seidel, and illustrated by acclaimed graphic novel artist Bill Sienkiewicz. If you can't find friendly dictator cards at your local book or comics shop, write Eclipse Comics, P.O. Box 1099, Forestville, California, 95436. And on that note, we'll wind up tonight's show. Be sure to be here tomorrow when we'll have updates on U2 and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the return of Terence Trent D'Arby, and a world premiere video from Eric Clapton. That's the news at night. Tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 Central. We'll see you then.
24 hours can be a long time.
How would you like to spend 24 hours up close and personal with the Rolling Stones?
Rolling Stones.
This is your chance. Win a day and a night with the Rolling Stones, courtesy of MTV and Budweiser. You and a guest will be off on a wild ride with the greatest rock and roll band in history, with $10,000 in your pocket to ease you on your way. You'll crash with them at their hotel. You'll join them aboard their private jet en route to their next tour date.
And we don't just let anyone on the private jet.
It wouldn't be private, would it?
You'll help them warm up before the show. And you'll have an all-access pass to hang out on stage and watch them perform live. And stick around, because you'll also be their special guest for the final show of the tour, the big pay-per-view event everybody else has to watch on TV.
Oh, it's even nastier now.
24 big hours with the Rolling Stones. Anything could happen. Here's how to win. Just put your name, address, age, and phone number on a postcard and mail it to MTV's 24 Hours with the Stones. P.O. Box 1211, Radio City Station, New York, New York, 10101. Watch MTV between 8 and 11 December 5th to find out if you won.
We just hope you can keep up with us.
This MTV contest sponsored by Budweiser.
One just ain't no fun. Two is better than one. Oh, yeah, yeah. It's two best in one.
Freshen's breath and taste great.
Yes, sir. It's two best in one.
It's him! It's definitely him! He's so hot, and he's rich, and he drives. I love him! Ew, and he's got dog breath. Just don't kiss him. Forget it. He's yours, okay?
Heartthrob, the new game from Milton Bradley where you get to pick from.
Dubs, gorgeous guys.
And try to decide who your friends will pick.
Here's the guy for you. What a hunk. Check him out. Yeah, but his sneaker size is thicker than his IQ. So? Come on, looks aren't everything. They're not.
Heartthrob from Milton Bradley.
Totally serious.
All the friends you have are really good friends.
Yeah.
Saturday night. Dubuque is a car thing, you know. Everybody does the car.
You know you can trust your friends.
Good night, 501. Wherever you are.
Natural beauty starts pure, free. For hair that's naturally beautiful, start pure, free. Introducing Ivory Free Shampoo and Conditioner. It's free of heavy perfumes, free of ingredients that leave heavy buildup. So it leaves your hair free to be healthy, shiny, naturally beautiful. Unscented ivory free. A pure start to naturally beautiful hair.
Tell someone you like about new sugar-free Dentine. The sugar-free gum made to make your breath beautiful.
They'll kiss you for it.
What is the title? I think we should call it Five Funny Guys. That's the title? Yeah, it's about us.
MTV presents the next wave in comedy. Jeff Cesario, Anthony Clark, Mario Joyner, Tom Kenny, Jonathan Solomon. 5 Funny Guys. An MTV comedy concert. Friday at 10 p.m., 9 Central on MTV.
Waterloo, go and change if I wanted to. It goes with the boys that playing in the dirt. It goes with the joy. It goes with the hurt. It goes with the men you can't fit in. It's there when you lose, there when you win. It's a piece of America. Share a little piece of America. Wrigley is a piece of America. Share a little piece of America.
Prepare thyself well, Dragon Warrior. Thy most challenging quest ever awaits. Go with speed, but go with patience. Seek out an arsenal, a dragon scale, a torch, and magic herbs. Use wisdom and cunning to choose thy commands, for the Dragon Lord is a fierce rival. Horrible and treacherous minions all guard the evil one's island castle. Art thou ready, young one?
Yes, King Lord.
And so begins a new epic, Dragon Warrior.
Nintendo, now you're playing with power. There's a lady who's had more #1 hits than any other female artist. The lady is Dinah Ross. Teledisc presents Diana Ross, the Supreme Lady. The only collection containing her top hits with the Supremes, Lionel Richie, The Temptations, The Four Tops, and On Her Own. All 18 of her #1 hits, 36 hits in all. The Supreme Lady, 3 records or 2 long-play cassettes, plus a special photo scrapbook, only $17.95 plus shipping. Only from Teledisc and not in any store. Now on 2 CDs, just $22.95 plus shipping.
Call toll-free 1-800-228-9494 or send $17.95 for records or cassettes or $22.95 for CDs plus $4 shipping to The Supreme Lady, Box 989, Department C, Hicksville, New York, 11802.
You see, a quarter of the people come on up the MTV. We brighten up your picture and we send you on your way.